Now, good morning, Blanca.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Well, I'm fine, thank you. And you?
I'm very happy that you are with me today reading this theme that I have chosen very carefully to read with you because you are my cousin and because
Yeah.
you are a pianist yourself. You did the career of piano here in Madrid in the conservatory, and now you are a former teacher in a school that you
Yeah.
are teaching music. So tell us about you.
Yeah, since January of this year, I am working in Madrid as a piano teacher in a school called the Agustinos, and I'm very happy working at this.
Very good. And is in the city center, more or less, of Madrid?
Well, it's in the north of Madrid, more or less, in the Barrio del Pilar.
Okay, good. And yes, and so we are going to read a scene where it appears the problem that we are facing in this scene is that Beth is ill. Okay, so what
Okay.
is going to happen is that Marmy, the mother, is arriving from some journey that she did in order to see the father who is in the civil war and who was also damaged, and she's coming back home, and the first thing that she's going to do, the mother, is to take care of Beth, that is ill in bed. So let's start with this scene. Interior, Joe and Beth's room, Orchard House, late night down. Still in her traveling cloak, Marmee leans over Beth's still face, taking her in taking her in not as a grieving mother, but as a practitioner. And this is very important because we know that Marmee is using homeopathic remedies to take care of the of Beth and many other situations with other little girls and neighbors. Mrs. March strips off, which means take off her gloves, and feels Beth's burning forehead, her cold hands. Marmee yanks up, which means remove very quickly, the coverlet and feels Beth's icy feet, dispatching her girls.
Mrs. March, bring a basin of vinegar and rags. We must draw the fever down from her head. I'll need my kit, Hannah. Hurry now. We'll not sleep tonight.
Interior stairs and foyer, Orchard House, late night, down. And we know that foyer, we will see later, but foyer is this entrance of the house. Mrs. March hurries down the stairs and halts, which means and stops. Absurdly, an exquisite little rosewood piano blocks the foyer. Old Mr. Lawrence stands beside it, formally, hat in hand.
Mr. Lawrence. Mrs. March, I have brought your little daughter a piano.
Mrs. March is stunned. Mr. Lawrence's stern voice wavers, which means trembles.
Mr. Lawrence continued. It belonged to my little girl. She died of smallpox. Should have given it to your daughter some time ago. She's musical, isn't she?
Very good. Okay, so we are going to highlight here that smallpox means viruela, it's an illness, and is the first time that we know that he had a small daughter and that she died. And also we are going to highlight here the expression should have given it to your daughter some time ago. It's an inversion with a modal, modal perfect, and he is saying with this, emphasizing that he would have loved to give it to her before, but is when this is the moment where he has decided to give it to her. So let's continue. And also, isn't she is a question tag. Very good.
Mrs. March, cautiously. Thank you, Mr. Lawrence. I'm sure Beth will be very happy to have it. Could you...
And gesturing to a valise, which means a suitcase or hand luggage, Mr. Lawrence hands her the case.
Mrs. March, thank you.
Hurrying back up the stairs, Marmee passes Mike rushing down. So What we are trying to see here is that they are very busy helping Beth, right?
Mrs. March, dry, Yankee, restrained. Be careful, there's a piano in the foyer.
Interior, garret of Orchard House, late day.
Jo, disoriented, wakes at her table. She rises with a start, and her Pilgrim's Progress falls to the floor. Jo hurries out.
Okay, be careful with she rises, is the third person, so we need to use the S at the end. She rises with a start, and her Pilgrim's Progress falls to the floor. And this is a novel that we know from the beginning of the novel and the beginning of the movie and the script that the mother gave it to the kids in the previous Christmas, in the first Christmas that we have already seen and celebrated with them. Interior, upstairs, Orchard House, late day.
On a chair outside Beth's room, Hannah whips into her apron. With foreboding, Jo rushes into her room.
Vale, let's comment apron is el delantal, ¿vale? Apron. Hannah is weeping, so weeps es que está llorando. And with foreboding is a strong inner feeling of future misfortune. So Jo has that feeling, and that's why she rushes into her room. Because we know that Beth and Jo share the room. Amy and Meg, the oldest and the youngest, share one room. And the one that is the second and the third share the other room. So Beth and Jo are together. And so interior Jo and Beth rooms, Orchard House, late day.
Beth's bed is empty. Then Jo sees. Beth rests in the armchair, wrapped in a quilt, as Marmee and Meg feed her soup. Beth, though ghostly and ravaged, has come back.
Very good. So very good. Let's comment quilt, wrapped in a quilt. Quilt is this cloth for the bed that we usually put over the bed, right? And it usually is with something soft inside, and some patterns as well. So that's the quilt. And though ghostly and ravaged, we understand that she has been very ill, and ghostly means very weak and also pallid, but also almost without body, we could say. And ravaged means damaged, very damaged because of the illness. And we know that the illness that she is suffering is scarlet fever. We know that. It has happened before in other scenes. Okay, so let's continue reading the last part.
Okay. In wordless relief, Jo kneels and puts her shorn head in Beth's lap. With a thin little hand, Beth strokes Jo's short curls.
Okay, fantastic. So let's emphasize two expressions. Shorn head is coming from the word esquilada, ¿vale? Because we know that Jo went and cut her hair, and because she wanted to sell the hair and get some money to help the mother with the doctors. And that's why they say her shorn head. And then we also know that because they are emphasizing the thin little hands, no, of Beth. Beth strokes Jo's short curls. We know that she has now short hair. And we finish with the reading of this scene. Let's comment now, Blanca, 3 words or expressions that you have reviewed or learned through the reading.
Yeah, in the first word would be foyer. That means a hall or of a house or a interior.
The entrance or the hall of
entrance. Sorry, entrance of a house. Yes. And the second word would be smallpox.
Yes.
That means viruela in Spanish. It's
Yes, kindness, very good.
yeah. And the last one would be dry Yankee restraint. That means that it's a kind of accent, for
Yeah.
example.
A way of saying things, a manner of expressing something with your voice and the tone and the speed and the pitch of your tone of your voice, sounding like a Yankee restraint, with a Yankee restraint accent or way of speaking. Yes, we don't really know, at least I don't know really how would it sound, but we can guess that they are saying dry Yankee restraints, maybe say, be careful, there's a piano in the door for you. I don't know
Yeah,
how
sorry.
this might sound for them, but okay, we can guess that. And I would also highlight foreboding. I like that word. Strong inner feeling of future of misfortune, foreboding, foreboding. I have learned that today with you. And also I have also learned this other expression that I like, though ghostly and ravaged. I like that one too. Good. So let's comment. The last thing we are going to comment, Blanca, is what would you highlight from this interaction of these people with the problem that they are living? What would you highlight from this scene?
The part where when Mr. Lawrence give a present to Beth, that is a piano. Because
Yes,
I'm a pianist and
it's beautiful, and we know that she's going
yeah.
to play this rosewood. Rosewood means the rosewood means that it's maybe it's a little bit red, the wood, but also could mean that it's made out of wood from the roses. So it has also smell, this kind of wood, okay? So the rosewood piano could be reddish in color, but at the same time with some kind of scent or smell of rose, and usually belong to teenagers, girls, and in this case from Mr. Lawrence's daughter that passed away years ago because of the smallpox. And and we know that Beth, whenever she gets recovered, we know that she got recovered thanks to her mother, but also to the doctors and everyone else that is helping them. Her, we know that she's going to play this piano the next Christmas day. And I wanted to also emphasize that you, as a cousin of mine, you were playing many Christmas the piano in our celebrations, right?
Yeah, I would like so much.
That's, yes. And any other thing that you would like to highlight from this spin?
Yeah, yes, I think the part where Joe cut his
Okay. Her hair.
yeah, her hair.
Yeah.
His
It's already cut. We know that she already got that cut. What you want to emphasize is the gesture of Joe cutting her hair
yeah,
because she wanted to get some money to help the mother, right? That's the gesture you want to emphasize.
yeah,
And we see that because the Joe is being described here with short curls and also
yeah.
as with her shorn head. Yes. Well done. So we have finished for today. How was it for you to read with me? Was it okay?
It has been so nice, and thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome. A pleasure, Blanca. I hope that this Christmas we meet again and you play the piano as always with beautiful
Yeah, for
music.
sure.
And also your brother that also plays the piano.
And my sister as well.
Yes, and your sister
The
plays the
violin.
piano as well, right? So there are a lot of musicians, and your father as well, my uncle
Yeah.
as well. So that's a beautiful family. So kisses for all of them. I hope they watch this and they comment and say something. If not, I'll see you for sure this Christmas. Um, and thank you for being here. I'm going to stop the recording, but don't go.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye bye.